Well, privatization to its fullest extent would be the simple concept of shutting down the VA medical centers and the VA healthcare system, giving a voucher to a veteran and saying, you go and find your own health care in the private setting, excuse me, and we will pay the bill. That would be the ultimate goal of privatization. And there is a strong belief that government should not be involved in the delivery of services, that government is inherently inefficient. I think we've talked about this earlier, where I believe that the government's involvement in VA healthcare is the most effective way of honoring our nation's commitment to our veterans. That does not mean that veterans should not have the ability to go into the private sector when it's in their best interest, when the care is better or specialized care is available that's not in the VA. I think we all believe that that should be available. But my belief is that the complete privatization of the VA would be a disaster, and we would look back when veterans aren't getting the care that they deserve and say, how do we recreate a system that cares for them? So I don't want to see us go in that direction. When I first came to the VA, 19% of veterans were getting care in the community. When I left, it was 36%. So I was strongly in favor of not having veterans get inferior care or waiting for care if the VA couldn't do it, but we got them to the private sector. I think that this is an issue of that there are policies being pursued by those who favor the dismantling of the VA, where they do not raise their hand and say that they're in favor of privatization, because that would be politically unpopular. So they're not going to say that. But if you watch the impact of these policies over the years that will come, I believe they will lead to a point where there is complete privatization of the VA. And what I am trying to say, and what I argue in the book is that we either need to come out and say what's going to happen if we follow these policies, or we need to very closely monitor and make sure that there's not an unintended consequence of these policies before it's too late.